Good evening. It is Monday, July 9th, and the Giants win it in walk-off fashion 2-1 in 11 innings. This is Giants Roundup on July 9th, 2018. Come on. There we go. You can follow on Twitter, join the Crooked Kite page on Facebook. Most importantly, please be kind and hit that subscribe button. Not a lot of scoring, but a lot of excellent pitching in tonight's game. Another really good outing out of Andy Suarez for the most part, as he keeps the Giants in it. They win it 2-1, and really good outing. And the Russell would ground into a fielder's choice in the third inning. It would score Ian Happ. It would be 1-0 Cubbies. That would be all that Andy Suarez would allow. He did strike out 5. The bad part was that he did walk 4 batters. That's not necessarily great news there. And on the other side, Kyle Hendricks was solid tonight. And in the 5th inning, Alan Hansen takes advantage of a big throwing error by Hendricks, and it was charged to Anthony Rizzo, who had 2 errors in tonight's game. First time in Rizzo's career he's had 2 errors in a single game. And Hansen said, "Okay, I'm going to run to third." He said, "Screw it, I'm heading home." And it was the right choice. He was safe at home. It ties the game, and that's the way it would be until the 11th inning. Kyle Hendricks would score and would be only get would Kyle Hendricks goes 8 1/3 strong, allows 1 unearned run, and then the bullpen. The Giants bats were able to get to the Cubbies bullpen tonight. Rosario didn't allow a hit, but Cishek, they just beat up on Cishek tonight. In the 11th inning, Cishek loads the bases just in time for Panda, 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 Panda. And he singles to left. It scores. It scores McCutcheon, and we're going home. The Giants win it 2-1. Cishek gets charged with the earned run, takes the loss, getting the win. And this has to be redemption for Ty Block tonight. He was scuffling the last few games, and then tonight he redeems himself with a solid outing here. He gets the win. He goes to 6-5 on the year. Really good job by Will Smith. He did allow a hit, but he did shut him down. Will Smith just at an ERA of a measly 1.03. Tony Watson, great job. Mark Melanson, great work. And then Reyes Maranta comes in, great job. And this was a big win for the Giants. They go to 48-45 on the year. They're 3 back. And they did gain half the game on the D-backs tonight. And it was Brandon Belt going 2 for 4 tonight. Panda, 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 Panda. Pablo Sandoval 2 for 5. And then Hunter Pence. That's right. Hunter Pence goes 2 for 4, gets that average up to 214. And you know what? Maybe Hunter Pence deserves to play tomorrow. I'm going to give him my Player of the Game award tonight. He was really excellent tonight. Probably the best outing I've seen out of Hunter Pence in a very long time. And this will certainly get discussed on the Giants Outsider show tonight with Grant and Therese. I'll be like to chat in there on Facebook after I'm done with this. Then tonight's attendance was 38,067, not a sellout. There was certainly a lot of Chicago fans who made the trip to AT&T Park tonight for the game. And Chicago falls to a game and a half back of Milwaukee. They got lucky that the Brewers lost today. so they didn't lose any ground on the NL Central for them. But we'll see. And then Slater goes 0 for 1 pinch hitting, 1 for 5 for Duggar tonight. And then also in other news, Buster Posey will sit out of this year's All-Star game with the hip injury. I think that's a wise move. And maybe Bochy should monitor the amount of games Buster Posey should play here in the stretch run. Try to keep him as healthy as he can be. That certainly would be a really good idea. Keep him fresh for the stretch run is what should be the priority for Bruce Bochy at this point, as the Giants are heading into the stretch, and maybe give him some maybe Wednesday we'll see Nick Hundley. But maybe get Nick Hundley some more reps down the stretch and don't overwork Posey. Keep him in case the Giants are in the postseason push. That would be a really good thing there. And then there was an article earlier today on the Giants, on the McCovey Chronicles, about the Giants possibly selling at the deadline, or maybe doing more of a deeper retooling than normal. This would be an interesting scenario. I mean, this talks about them possibly Giants listening to offers for Madison Bumgarner. And certainly, I think that would be something more for the winter if the Giants do scuffle down the stretch. That's something that could be worked at. And then I don't think the Giants would ever go for a total tank campaign. But I don't think Bumgarner will be traded in season. I don't. This would be more for the winter meetings, and the Giants would have to probably be really have to get a big return back from Bumgarner to even listen to the offers. But there's certainly some other players that could be made available via trade if the Giants do struggle here in the next couple weeks. And Jeff Samardzij's one. I think the Giants would love to get rid of his contract. Johnny Cueto, he could certainly get the Giants further down below the CBT. That would be, and Cueto could bring back a nice return of prospects. Brandon Belt, he's had a really good year, and he's not untouchable. So you never know. He can play outfield too. That's a possibility. And then possibly Andrew McCutchen as a rental. That could certainly be an interesting offer if the Giants do scuffle down the stretch. I think I really think McCutchen could become an interesting trade candidate if say the Giants do start looking to start gathering up prospects and starts. But we will see. We'll see what happens if they decide to stock up on prospects. That could be an interesting scenario. And I don't know if the Giants are a playoff team. I think they're closer to being maybe a 500 team this season. It's better than what they were last year, but I don't know. I don't know if this is what Bochy wants. I think if the Giants do finish 500, I think the possibility of Bochy's retirement that's could become a real reality with him going into a lame duck year next year. I don't know if he wants that. But there's certainly some things, there's certainly going to be some questions here going down the stretch. And the Giants need to prove themselves here down the next 2 weeks that they are in it, or else, you know. But Samardzija, I don't think there's going to be a trade partner for him just yet. I think he's another one that, same thing with Cueto. What more likely could happen is you see a roster tear down more towards the winter. And I think the trade chip would really realistically be Andrew McCutchen. And we'll see what happens here, but that's just speculation according to the McCovey Chronicles. And and I wouldn't mind it. I honestly think it's time to restock the farm. Helio Ramos is your only top 100 prospect in your farm. That's not good. And now Duggar, your other prize prospect, is up. Your next close thing to a prize prospect the Giants have in the farm is Chris Shaw. You could see possibly Sean Anderson get promoted to AAA here in the second half of the season. But Tyler Beatty, he's certainly flamed out here. He's not really working out in the Giants organization. I don't think he'll be back next year in the Giants organization. But there's a lot of things. There's stranger things have happened. But the Giants are really needing prospects, and it would be nice to start thinking that way. And realistically, it's not going to happen at this year's trade deadline. I see this maybe more being a reality in the winter meetings next offseason, depending on where the Giants do ultimately end up finishing. All right, now on to our buyers or sellers for tonight. It is the Colorado Rockies. This one's a toughie. I think they could be a little bit of both here at the deadline. Certainly, Colorado does not want Cargo's contract to become a 10-5 contract. I certainly think they're going to look for a trade partner for Carlos Gomez, especially with his 10-5 rights becoming available. So we'll see what happens with that. And if he does get his 10-5 rights, then it becomes a lot harder to move him with him having a full no trade clause with his 10-5 rights with the Colorado Rockies. And I really don't think Carlos Cargo is going to really deserves it in Colorado. If they sell, they could look to move DJ LeMahieu. His contract's up. And it may not be likely that DJ LeMahieu returns to Colorado next year. Trevor Story could be another one that could be on the move. But say they stick around in the division race. Right now, Colorado is 46-44 on the season. They are just a game and a half back of the Giants. But say they decide to buy, they could go after some starting pitching. There could be some interesting arms being made available. We'll see what happens to that. And then, of course, they could target Jose Abreu for first base, and possibly move Ian Desmond to the outfield. So Colorado, a lot of what's going to happen with Colorado here at the deadline is going to be determined in what happens after the All-Star break. If they are winning or if they're scuffling, it could go either way for Colorado. So it could be an interesting scenario. And certainly Colorado has been one of the more bigger disappointments this season. I kind of thought Colorado might be ripe to win the West this year, and it just hasn't happened this year. But let's go to the MLB Roundup for Monday night. In San Diego, the LA Dodgers beat the San Diego Padres 8-2. Taking the win is Clayton Kershaw, who pitches 6 scoreless innings. Taking the loss is Luis Perdomo, who gives up 6 earned in 7 innings pitched for the Friars. Justin Turner goes 3 for 5 for the Dodgers. Cody Bellinger goes 3 for 5 for LA. Andrew Tolles goes 2 for 3 in his return to the Dodgers. And then Caleb Ferguson gives up 2 runs, 1 earned in 2 innings pitched. And in Baltimore, the Orioles beat the Yankees 5-4, taking the win is Mike Wright Jr. taking the loss, CC Sabathia, who didn't have one of his bare nights, giving up 5 earned and 5 innings pitched. Jonathan Shoup goes 3 for 4 for the Orioles. Giancarlo Stanton hits his 22nd home run of the year for the Bombers. And in Queens tonight, the Mets beat the Phillies in game one of the doubleheader 4-3. Same thing with the Yankees. That was game one of a doubleheader today. And taking the win is Tim Peterson. Taking the loss, Victor Arano, who gives, and this game went 10 innings, who gives up an earned run. And it was a walk-off for the Mets. It was Wilmer Flores who hits his 8th home run of the year. And Nick Williams goes 3 for 5 for the Mets tonight. For the Phillies, excuse me. Zach Eflin, not one of his better starts tonight. 3 earned and 5 innings pitched. Zach Wheeler, 3 runs, 4 2/3 innings pitched. Strikes out 8, though. That was the good part. And then Seth Lugo walks 4 in 2 2/3 innings pitched for the Mets. In Pittsburgh tonight, the Pirates beat the Nationals 6-3, taking the win. Ivan Nova taking the loss. Jeffrey Rodriguez, who gives up 6 earned and 5 innings pitched for the Nats. Gregory Polanco goes 2 for 3 tonight for the Pirates. And now the Nationals go back to 500 at 45-45 on the year. And we'll see what the Nationals do at the deadline here if they continue to scuffle. In South Beach tonight, the Marlins knock off the Brewers 4-3, taking the win. Brad Ziegler taking the loss. Corey Nebel, who blows a save for the Brewers tonight. Cameron Maben goes 2 for 3 for the Fish. Lorenzo Cain goes 3 for 4 for the Brewers. Jesus Aguilar with his 23rd home run of the year for the Brew Crew. And Chase Anderson, 1 unearned run in 4 2/3 innings pitched. Not one of his better outings, despite limiting the damage, and they didn't lose any ground tonight in the NL Central. And in game 2 of the doubleheader in Queens tonight, the Phillies beat the Mets 3-1, taking the win. Aaron Nola, who pitches 7 scoreless innings for the Phillies. Corey Oswalt takes the loss, gives up 3 earned in 6 innings pitched, strikes out 7. And Aaron Nola actually had a bases clearing double tonight for the Phillies tonight. So why not create your own offense? And that ended up being the difference maker. And in Fenway tonight, the Red Sox beat the Rangers 5-0, taking the win. Eduardo Rodriguez taking the loss. Mike Minor. In Cleveland tonight, in the Battle of Ohio, the Reds beat the Indians 7-5, taking the win. Anthony Descalfani taking the loss. Mike Clevenger, who gives up 5 earned and 6 innings pitched, strikes out 11 in a losing effort. Scott Schebler goes 4 for 5 for the Reds. And Josh Tomlin, 2 earned and 1 inning pitch for the Indians. We'll see how much longer he stays up in Cleveland before he's sent to the minors. In Tampa Bay tonight, the Rays beat the Tigers in 10 innings tonight, 10-9, taking the win. Matt Andriese taking the loss. Blaine Hardy. Daniel Robertson goes 3 for 6 for the Rays. CJ Cron 3 for 4 for Tampa Bay. Carlos Gomez 3 for 5 for the Rays. Nicholas Castellanos goes 3 for 4 for the Tigers. Francisco Liriano gets pounded for 7 earned runs in 2 1/3 innings pitched. Chris Archer only goes 3 1/3 in his return back from the disabled list. gives up 3 earned. Jaime Schultz 3 earned without recording an out for the Rays. Luis Coleman 2 earned and 2/3 of an inning pitched. Diego Castillo an earned run and 2/3 of an inning pitched for Tampa Bay. Ryan Stanek an earned run and 1/3 of an inning pitched. Jose Alvarado an unearned run and 1/3 of an inning pitched. And Sergio Romo gets charged with the blown save. And in game 2 of the doubleheader, the Yankees clobber the Orioles 10-2. Taking the win is Luis Cessa. Taking the loss, Jeffrey Ramirez, who only goes 4 innings tonight, allows 4 earned runs. Brett Gardner goes 4 for 6 for the Bombers. Hits his 7th home run of the year. And Brad Brock, no good tonight. 4 runs, 3 earned, and 2/3 of an inning pitched. Tanner Scott, 2 earned and 1 inning pitched for the Orioles, and it's just not a good outing there. In Houston tonight, the Astros lose to the Cross Bay rivals, the Oakland A's. Beat blank the Astros 2-0 and get a rare division win. Frankie Montas 6 scoreless inning for the A's. Brad Peacock takes the loss for the Astros and gives up an earned run and 2/3 of an inning pitched. Steven Piscotty 3 for 4 hits his 10th home run of the year. He lifts the A's to victory. And now the A's are 51-40 on the year. Just 6 games back of the wild card for the A's going into the All-Star break point. Don't sleep on the A's after the All-Star break. I have seen some crazy runs with Billy Beane in the front office in Oakland. In Minnesota, the Twins beat the Royals 3-1, taking the win. Jose Barrios, 7 innings strong, 1 earned. 8 strikeouts, taking the loss. Tim Hill, 2 earned and 1/3 of an inning pitched. Joe Mauer turns back the clock tonight, goes 3 for 5 for Minnesota. And Danny Duffy was actually really good on the mound tonight. 6 scoreless innings, 9 strikeouts, gets that ERA down to 4.89. So that's just a skosh better for Danny Duffy, as I certainly think Kansas City would want to move Danny Duffy before the trade deadline. And tonight in the PCL, they start their All-Star break, so no PCL action. But thanks for tuning in on this Monday night. Everybody enjoy their Monday night, and I'll be back on tomorrow after. And tomorrow's matchup for the Giants and the Cubbies, it will be Johnny Cueto against Jose Quintana. This should be a really good matchup tomorrow night. Could be another low-scoring affair. And this can also be seen on the ESPN Plus if you have an ESPN Plus subscription. Of course, better is okay. It looks like we just got an update on the Twitter. It's not going to be Johnny Cueto tomorrow. It's going to be Derek Holland. Cueto will start on Wednesday now. Looks like Derek Holland's getting spot started. As he's trying to rehab back, as he's still sort of rehabbing back into the rotation. So it'll be Holland tomorrow, and then Cueto on Wednesday, and then probably Derek Rodriguez will start against the A series now. All right, everybody have a good night. Get some rest. See you tomorrow night. Good night. Peace.